I asked ChatGPT to name the best hearing care clinic in every state in the US. Some of the answers were bang on the money, and some were frankly a little surprising. In this episode, I'm going to explain exactly what happened and the lessons that you can learn to ensure that you're being recommended as the number one practice through AI search.
Welcome to the Business of Hearing podcast, the number one marketing and practice growth podcast for high-performing private practice hearing care leaders. My name's Ollie Luke. Pull up a chair, pour yourself a drink, and let's have a chat.
So welcome along to another episode of the Business of Hearing podcast. And look, we're talking AI search, and depending how often you listen to this, you may be sick of hearing about AI. I'm sick of talking about it. But right now, it's love it or loathe it. It's the most monumental shift that we're seeing, period, right? It's huge. It's changing the very fabric of how people use the internet and how every element of society is operating right now. You know, we can maybe talk about something else just because that feels convenient and nice, but dare I say, if there's an important thing to pay attention on, even if you're sick of hearing about it, this is the case. I recently, because my life is super exciting, sat there and went through every state in the US and asked who the best hearing care provider is to ChatGPT. And then I did a bit of due diligence and went, okay, based on what it's recommended, what would traditional Google search say in comparison? And there was some that was absolutely on the money. It was sharp, it was specific. Who was dominating from a Google search perspective was dominating from a ChatGPT perspective. But there was others where it was weird. It was recommending practices. ChatGPT was recommending practices that I couldn't even find on Google search. And there was big players that have clearly played the Google search game that are just not being pulled into ChatGPT. And given that we've got a big shift that's going on and is going to continue to go on around how people use the web right now, this is big bananas. Because fundamentally, if you've played the traditional playbook of how do I win with traditional search and you've dominated and this AI search is occurring behind your back and you're not paying attention to it, then as priorities shift of people searching the internet, you're either going to be in a prime position if you focus on it or in a compromised position if you don't. So let me tell you a little bit about specifically what you need to give attention towards. Let's just get this straight, because I heard something from a practice pretty recently that AI search isn't going to impact us. Our patients aren't going to be, they don't like AI, they're scared of AI, nobody's touching it. I just want to be really clear here. Stats, not opinions. ChatGPT has now reported 365 billion annual searches. It took them 2 years to reach that. It took Google 11 years to reach that exact same milestone. For clarity, Google AI mode that was introduced at the end of May in the US has now got 100 million plus active users. Keep in mind, it's only been rolled out in the US. It's just got into India, and it's only just, as I'm recording this 2 days ago, come into the UK. So these are growing. And the problem is, the graph is like that. There's no, it's coming and then it's going. It's a one-way ticket to this is being the fundamental new way that people are going to search the internet in the future. And regardless of age, when Google decides to make the shift that AI search is the future and traditional search is now less prioritized, which will happen as long as they can get their ad revenue through AI search, which is the big puzzle that they've got right now, then trust me, this is going to be the next 5 to 10 years of what the web looks like. So what do you need to do in order to win the ChatGPT battle, the Google AI battle, basically the AI search battle that differs from traditional search? And I'm not going to get into the technical things. Your website needs to have certain bits of code, etc., different schemas and stuff that is for your web company to come to you with and solve. But if we fundamentally look at what AI search prioritizes, it's no longer gamifying the system like traditional search was. It's no longer packing pages with keywords. It's no longer trying to hide alt tags with wording in them in order to play the algorithm game. AI search is a lot smarter than somebody sat there trying to gamify the system through traditional dirty SEO tactics. AI search is fundamentally for trust. They want to put the best option in front of the users, not the ones who gamified the system, literally the best, which means the goal of your website is no longer just to be a brochure. It's no longer there just to answer some basic questions. If you're the best, your website needs to prove that you're the best. We can no longer get away with just having a nice website that says a little bit about us and we've got some reviews. Like, this is now a game of building what they call trust signals. Now, trust signals vary. Trust signals are around transparency. They're around what you say about yourself. They're around what other people say about you. It's around where you exist across the internet, and they can build a good case of evidence that you're a sustainable, long-term business that's going to deliver on your promises. But the big goal here is the best businesses finally win. Not by manipulation, by evidence. Really, this comes down to you need to be your practice's defense attorney. And what I mean by that is trust is in a very compromised position. It wasn't too long ago, right? You kind of trusted what you were told. Been taught that since we were children. If your parents say, don't touch that, it's hot, you're probably not going to touch it because why would you question that? You'll trust. And we've seen that across the board. And then the internet showed up. And the internet now means that everybody is fact-checked. No matter what claim somebody makes, there's a Reddit article talking about it. No matter what commercial somebody makes, there's YouTube reaction videos of people trying to catch them out. Trust and skepticism are a challenge right now for businesses. And with trust signals being so key, it means that you need to be your defense attorney. Any claim, anything you're trying to state that you are in your marketplace, you need to build enough evidence that you could stand in front of a jury, the most evil jury and judge that ever exists, that scrutinizes everything, that cannot be manipulated in any way, cannot be sweet-talked, and you need to build the evidence. Your patients need to be able to stand on trial and talk on your behalf. You need the evidence laid out in order to prove every statement that you say. If you can say that we help people to achieve this outcome, you need the case studies, you need the evidence, you need your unique methodology of exactly how you do it. There's no easy way to win this AI search. This is a game of building evidence, and building evidence requires work. And it's going to mean that practices that put the work in are going to be the beneficiaries of this, and the ones that try to write the playbook have always been of just writing blogs that are packed with keywords and trying to spend money to gamify the system to get to number one on Google. That isn't going to work in an AI search world. Now, there is crossovers. Having a fast loading, secure website that's great on mobile universally is going to help. If you've done that for Google, it's still going to be beneficial and appreciated from an AI search perspective. They want to put the best option and make the best recommendation for the person that is searching on ChatGPT. And this is exactly what we seen when we were doing this. We looked at the websites that ChatGPT were recommending that weren't really showing up on Google. It's because they were playing this game. They were playing the evidence game. They developed the evidence. They haven't tried to spend to gamify the system in big competitive cities and states. The ones that have been around 30 years, the ones that have clearly spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on traditional Google search were winning on a statewide basis, as you would expect. But the ones that are building the most evidence and actually proving they're the best option, not just by saying it and spending their way to get the attention, but the ones that are actually proving it with evidence, with their breakdown of their 12-step hearing test process, of case studies of the people they've helped and the difference it's made to their life, they're the ones that are winning the AI search battle. So if you're seeing this shift go on right now, if your behaviors on the web are changing and you're finding that you're not using traditional search in the way that you did, and now you're using, maybe it's AI search, maybe it's ChatGPT, then you're not the only one. This is happening for your patients. This is happening for the loved ones of your patients that are conducting research. And in a world where skepticism is an all-time high and people are doing more and more research ahead of making a buying decision, you need to be in those battles. And you can continue to play the old playbook of trying to gamify Google, or you can go, well, how do we build something that allows us to win on Google by literally being the best? But how do we really prioritize AI search, knowing that most people are not? And we've got to remember, nearly everyone in our industry is completely asleep to what is going on right now, which creates mammoth opportunity. If you can double down in this area and dominate, not just locally, but on a much wider scale, by no longer trying to gamify the system, but just building the evidence that you are the best. And this has been our focus within Orange and Grey and our inner circle for the practices that we work with. This has been everything for the past 12 months. And I will say our inner circle members are sick to death of me talking about AI, because must have put hundreds of comments around it, hours and hours of discussions, sharing updates. We've been so obsessive over this because we see the playbook going through such a shift right now, nobody else giving attention to it, and vast opportunity for the ones that are. And we're seeing this right now with our practices dominating AI search. We're seeing them get referrals consistently from ChatGPT, from AI search, from Perplexity. This is big opportunity. The internet is on a one-way path to change, and you can either get ahead of it or be very, very far behind it. And I'm not sat here trying to make this dramatic and scary and saying if you don't make a shift, everything's going to be fundamental broken. But I feel like I'm speaking to somebody that's about to invest in a new fleet of horses when cars have just been launched. There's change going on right now, and there's a safe, predictable way, or you can just look at exactly what's going on right now and try and make the best decision. And my focus right now isn't telling you what worked yesterday, it's telling you where the future of our industry is going. That's where I hold responsibility for these episodes, for this podcast, and for our inner circle members. And this is very, very key to ensuring you've got this in order to ensure that you're set to win in the future. So hopefully that's helpful. As always with these, if there's if there's ever a single question, my voice is terrible, or you need any help, then just drop me a message, drop me a comment below. I always respond to every comment. Find our website, orange-grey.com, and you're able to reach me on WhatsApp to ping any messages, but it would be good to connect. But my encouragement to you right now is go and try and find yourself on ChatGPT, and not by looking by your name, but by searching services that you offer in your area and just see how you're doing. If there's room for improvement, double down on it. If you're already winning, congrats. If you're not there, it's time for attention.
And there we have it. Another episode has come to an end, and I have a quick favour to ask. If you have found this helpful, then who do you know who should listen to this podcast? I strongly believe a rising tide lifts all boats, and right now, private practice needs to stick together to fight these big, gormless groups and these manufacturer-owned Goliaths that are looking to take market share from us. Consider who should be listening, pass on the word about the Business of Hearing podcast, and I'll see you again next week.